guys, it's me Shadow here, and today I have finally got a video for you guys today. I'm joking. And today I am finally talking about ReZero. And I did say I did want to talk about that ReZero during season 3, and season 3 is about to pick back up again, so I think it's the best time now to speak about it. And why I'm gonna talk about ReZero is literally because ReZero is probably the most hated isekai for no reason. It is such a phenomenon, it is so damn good, and people need to just realise how good ReZero is. ReZero follows the story of Subaru Natsuki. He has one of the most intriguing and most interesting abilities in all of anime. But before we go into the ability, I want to talk about how he got to this new world, because it is an isekai anime, so he was just shopping one day and then he got transported to this magical world, and then he meets a witch, an elf called Amelia, and then he goes along this path with Amelia helping her out, and then he eventually dies. Like straight up, he dies. I'm not even joking, he dies. And then things rewind back to where he first met her, and he's living the same loop again, but in a different style. Basically, he's taking different paths, but he dies again and again and again and again until he finds the right path. And then once he finds the right path, his like save point where he died is no longer there, and he continues on this new path until there's another save point. Then when he dies, he returns back to that save point. And this ability he has is called Return by Death, which was given by the Witch of Envy, I think. Selen, I think her name is, Witch of Envy Selen, from the light novel. But this ability is, yeah, don't get me wrong, it is a bit overpowered, but it isn't like Subaru, like as a human, it is weak. He's weak. He's not as strong as like Amelia or Reinhardt. That's also a really powerful character. He's just really damn strong. He's just got that ability and some magic abilities. That's it. But what this story does, and what it does so well, is show Subaru's mental state, because he's feeling every part of his body when he dies. He feels his mental state, his loved ones. One of the times he was killed by an elf girl, by a demon girl called Rem, which was his friend, and he felt that mental strain on him. And when he loses someone or can't protect someone, he also feels that mental strain. And that's one thing animes don't do enough. Is show the mental state and show it like in animation, how it affects that main character. And they do such a good job with Subaru to show how basically tormented he is to live this cycle of death and not reincarnation, death, and living over and over again. It is so damn good. And I want to talk about Subaru a minute. I think Subaru's overall goal is to basically help and protect Amelia. Amelia is the main female lead in this anime, and she's also really good writing wise, and we're going to get to her later on. But Subaru tries to support her in any way shape he can. But there's some instances in season 1 where Amelia doesn't agree with what Subaru is doing and basically pushes him to the side. And that forces Subaru to also have a mental struggle with himself to give one of the best speeches in anime, and it is so damn good. I can't play any clips from the anime because they get claimed like that. So, but if you know the speech in season 1 when he's talking to Rem, when he's talking about like running away with her and stuff, it's such a goddamn good speech. It is so good. It's so emotional, heartfelt. It is what that season and that particular moment needed to make it impactful, and it is so good. And in that his whole relationship with Rem as well, when Rem started to warm up to him and stuff like that, it was so good. It was written so well. And then at the end, where she lost the memories, basically was forced into a coma, it was the most heartbreaking thing, and everybody forgot about her. He's the only one that remembers her, and that is just sad. Like, it's just not like sad in a bad way. It is sad to see, because she has a twin sister called Ram, and she even doesn't remember her. It's very hard to see, man. And I love how they show Subaru's emotions so much in this anime, because it means a lot to him. It doesn't mean a lot, it means a lot to the viewer as well, because it shows that he's just going through this torture of living. And I want to bring this up quickly before I go into further on, is that people calling Subaru a crybaby MC, I don't think they understand what that term actually means. A crybaby is somebody that cries and is very emotional. Subaru has died countless times, and you really expect him to just be happy all going all the time? He's going to be emotional. His mental state is going to be destroyed multiple times. And for people to label him that is very fucking bad, because I think he's one of the best isekai MCs. Like, I think for me it goes Rimuru, Subaru, Bell. Those three are my favorites, and they do such a good job. Subaru, people need to realize that he isn't like Takemichi, because I swear I haven't spoken about Tokyo Revengers in ages, but Takemichi he's an okay character, but he was the definition of a crybaby MC. He did not do shit, and Subaru is trying to help, trying to do stuff. He's trying to make sure all of his friends and all of his loved ones are safe. He can't do that, so he's dying countless times, sometimes on purpose, trying to find the right path. And his mental state's being broken up in the process, and it is so annoying. I get it, he cries a lot when it comes to these moments, which is needed. It shows how just dying all the time, he doesn't just do it on a whim. Sometimes he does, but sometimes it's not like severely painful. So yeah, I think labeling Subaru as a crybaby MC is not what he is. He's such a good character, so just don't label him that. He's one of the best isekai written main characters out there. I think he's up there with Bell, and I think that he's up there with Rimuru. I do not give a hell about... I will talk about the character I'm labeling right now. I do not give a hell about that character. So, anyway, we're going to move on to Season 2. Season 2 mainly focuses on Emilia trying to find the sanctuary and basically take this trial she's trying to do. And this is probably my favourite moment in the anime. I've read the light novel, so I know what comes after this, and even in Season 3, but I love the Sanctuary arc. It's one of my favourite arcs in the whole series, because it really tests the will and the mental state of Subaru and Emilia. Emilia, to see that she isn't physically and mentally strong enough to look after every single person that she wants, and Subaru isn't mentally strong enough to give up or just to let go or let somebody control him. Because one of the most key parts in this whole season, because it's split into 3 parts, is Echidna. I think her name's Echidna. Yeah, Echidna is the Witch of Greed, and she's introduced in this season. And Echidna is one of the most manipulative characters in this whole series, and I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love manipulative characters, people that basically try and manipulate the mind, people that basically try to control others. That's why I love Makima so much. She's one of my favourite characters in fiction. But Echidna is so evil. She's the definition of evil. She tries to persuade Subaru and help him, because the first thing that I loved between Subaru, and one of my favourite interaction, is Subaru, the first time, he's never been able to tell anybody about his return by death ability, because he kind of gets like this half retaliation every time he does it, but he's able to tell Echidna, and she's trying to use that, and while he's going through this mental state, trying to get all of his emotions out and trying to tell her, she's trying to embrace him and stuff like that. And then when episodes go down the line, she takes him down this memory route, trying to get him to the strongest he's ever been, until she puts it on the table that she wants a contract where if he can't handle the situation he's in, if he can't handle the scenarios he's dealing with, if he can't handle the emotions, he can swap bodies with Echidna and basically relax while she goes deal with the real stuff. And Echidna has been portrayed by the other witches as greedy, as non-trustful, as manipulative, and as the Witch of Greed is really shown as her design. For one, she uses a fucking body full of lizard's teeth, which I still think is fucking weird, but anyway, she has like this really outgoing, like dark dress, white hair, silver, almost blind looking eyes, and very like manipulative smile. And one of the things I love the author for doing is he did like a what if scenario for ReZero. What if Subaru went down the greed path? What happens if he went down the envy path? And when he went down the greed path, basically he had no control. He felt like his life was in ruins. Him and Echidna basically tormented everybody. And I love what if scenarios. It's one of my favourite things about fiction. and some of the things I'm trying to introduce in my writing as well. Like, what if this character did this or whatever. But what if scenarios for ReZero is really good because of the return by death ability. It can make so much sense. So yeah, I think this this whole segment with Echidna, especially when she had an interaction with Amelia as well, where Amelia basically, where she despises and hates Amelia with good reason, because she resembles Selen, which is the Witch of Envy, and the Witch of Envy is the one that gave the return by death ability to Sumeru, and they look similar. So I'm guessing, and the Witch of Envy was portrayed that she killed all the other witches, so of course she's going to feel envious towards the Witch of Envy, or distaste for someone that looks like the Witch of Envy. In season 2, though, one of my favourite segments is towards the end of season 2. I think I'm pretty sure it's toward the end or in the middle of season 2, is where Sumeru confesses and they embrace for a kiss, Sumeru and Amelia. And it's not that because lovey-dovey shit, and I guess I love romance anime, but generally this segment was so heartfelt, so eye-opening, because Amelia just couldn't accept it. She could not accept the truth that she was living. She couldn't accept the sanctuary because it was playing. The sanctuary is a mental, basically, battle. She couldn't accept it. So Sumeru basically let all of his feelings out, and while she was trying to reject him and say, calling him selfish and stuff, Sumeru still says, yeah, I'm selfish, and what? Basically, and at that moment, the music, the animation, it's one of my favourite moments. I love it. And it all ends off with Roswell, because Roswell was basically, I forgot to talk about him earlier, but he's basically the mansion leader where Sumeru and Amelia are, is like living. And he's basically betrayed Sumeru and Amelia, and this is why the whole thing kicked off, and why they're basically stuck there, because he's the one that asked them to go there. And while everything's kicking off, Rom, which is Rem's twin sister, basically regrows a demon horn because she didn't have hers, and fights over as well, somebody she cares for, someone she loves. There's just, I know I've skipped over season 2 briefly because I don't want to spoil it, because ReZero is such a good show, but everything from season 1 to season 2 it just keeps going up. It keeps getting better and better and better. Don't get me wrong, I think season 1 is the worst of the seasons until like halfway ish, not even halfway, until you get like past episode 7. I'd say it gets really good. ReZero does. But yeah, I think season 2 phenomenal. Season 1 is probably the worst of the 3 seasons, because season 3, I don't want to talk about it much because it's still airing, and I think it restarts sometime this week or today, I don't know. Season 3 episode 1 is what I want from ReZero. It was like, I think it was an hour and a half episode, and I love when episodes have that, it's like that length, because you know you're going to get a good episode. And it ends off with I forgot what one of the witches, or one of the like embodiments of like Wrath or someone, I forgot what the person's called, and she manipulated all the citizens, including Sumeru, and killed all of them all. She basically stood up across this tower and was killing somebody in front of them, and she manipulated them so they were forced to watch. I love that shit, man. It is so good. ReZero is very underappreciated, and I think, and it's very hated on for no reason. ReZero is phenomenal. And if you compare it to like the greats of Isekai, especially, because Isekai is a genre of only a good few gems. If you compare it to Tensura, if you compare it to Danmachi, if you compare it to Overlord, it stands its own. It is so good because it does what the others don't. It just isn't like an overpowered MC. It's an MC with an overpowered ability he doesn't want. He can't control it. It is something he has to deal with. And it is so damn good to see that it's not just following the typical trope. Don't get me wrong, I love Tensura. Tensura is one of my favourite pieces of fiction. But when it comes to like the emotional states and the characters, I think ReZero does beat Tensura a little bit. But anyway, one thing I will talk about is, before I end off the video, is I will rate ReZero, like the light novel especially. I'm not going to talk about the light novel because again, anime only people. I'm trying to keep this anime only, but the light novel is worth a read. Please go read it. It is so damn good. But yeah, if I would have to rate it, ReZero is definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. I love characters when they, love writers, and I love animations when they express and they show the mental state and how gruesome and how brutal it is to just return by death. I love when shit goes like that. And one of my favourite stories is Tokyo Ghoul. I love the manga, it's one of my favourite pieces of fiction. But the anime didn't do that for me. And I hated that. The anime is so bad for Tokyo Ghoul, and I'm begging for a remake. Anyway, it would have to be a 9 out of 10 for ReZero for me. I would recommend you guys go check ReZero out. It is such a good anime. But yeah, before I end off the video, schedule now, because I am the video I had plan, the one I was working really hard on, I was about to upload it and it got striked. Like completely. I tried to remove all the strike parts, it still got striked, and then I went to re-edit it again, it all got corrupted, so yeah. And I'm kind of sad because I worked really hard on the video and now it's just gone. It's just in the wind. So I think now, when it comes to these big video projects I've got going on, I'm probably just gonna do some Let's Talks, talk about Pacific Anime. Then when it's ready to go, I'm just gonna upload it, regardless if it gets strikes or not. But yeah, expect a video next week. Now we're back on our weekly upload trend, so this video will be out sometime this week. And I hope you enjoyed this, guys. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and leave below what games you want me to play on the channel. Because again, I still have a few games I can play. Like, I'm thinking about playing some Subnautica because I'm getting that itch again. But anyway, see you later in a bit. Peace.